It is easy to cozy up to a murder mystery, especially if the details are grisly and the plucky little heroine is just an average woman going about her daily life. But what about cozying up to a Victorian art heist with magic, a plucky librarian with a murky past, and a war hero hiding secrets of his own? Hello, I'm Ilyria, the book fiend. I love books, stories, and all things connected to reading and the craft of writing. And today I am presenting my thoughts on C.J. Archer's The Librarian of Crooked Lane. The Librarian of Crooked Lane is the first book in C.J. Archer's The Glass Library series. It's a cozy, gaslamp-inspired mystery with a slow-burn romance. It was self-published and released on the 6th of September, 2022. The book is available in ebook, paperback, and audiobook formats. I discovered this book, this author, and this series through an advertisement sent to me from my Audible subscription. So I listened to this book on audiobook, and it was narrated there by Marion Hussey. Our protagonist is the librarian Sylvia Ashe, a young woman who knows nothing about her past, having grown up with a mother who refused to speak about her absent father. When she stumbles upon a diary that suggests she's descended from magicians, she is skeptical. After all, magicians are special, and she's just an ordinary girl who loves books. She seeks the truth from a member of the most prominent family of magicians, but she quickly learns that finding the truth won't be easy, especially when he turns out to be as artless or as devoid of magic as she is, and more compelling and dangerous than the books she seeks answers in. War hero Gabriel Glass is gifted with wealth, a loving family, and an incredible amount of luck that saw him survive 4 harrowing years of brutal war without injury. But not all injuries are visible. Burying himself in his work as a consultant for Scotland Yard, Gabe is going through the motions as he investigates the theft of a magician-made painting. But his life changes when he unwittingly gets Sylvia dismissed from her job and places her in danger. After securing her new employment in a library housing the world's greatest collection of books about magic, Gabe and Sylvia's lives become entwined as they work together to find both the painting and the truth about Sylvia's past before powerful people can stop them. But sometimes the past is better left buried. If I am to confess to you, my dear viewers, I am a slut for books with magic and libraries that are set in the late 19th and early 20th century. The only things this book didn't have that would have held my attention more vividly and more deeply are vampires and sapphic romances. But the beautiful cover and the intriguing synopsis sold me on the book, even though I knew nothing about the author and the other books she has written. Never underestimate the value of good design, no? And Sylvia is one of my favorite archetypes for women. Sharp, quick-witted, and yet a trouble magnet. She reminds me a lot of Evie from The Mummy, as played by Rachel Weisz, and, again, if I must confess, I will devour anything with Rachel Weisz. So, a character who reminds me of one of my favorite of her roles, I will fall in love with instantly. I also see a bit of myself in Sylvia as well. And then you throw her into a world where she is expected to be prim and proper and to know her place in society. Oh, that is a delicious, decadent treat waiting to happen. Will I wince when she inevitably screws up? Of course I will. Will I cheer for her as she talks back to those who are in greater positions of power in society and consider themselves her betters? Oh, you know that I will. You could expect nothing less from a brat such as myself. I love the character. I love the situation she's thrown into, and how Archer's evocative writing gives the sense that her protagonist is actually moving through them in a way where her actions change the outcome of the scenes. Oh, it's such good characterization and good writing. Now, this is a historical mystery that isn't a bloody murder. I love a good murder mystery. I love a true crime podcast as much as anyone else. I binge watch Murder, She Wrote on rainy weekends. As a young fiend, I devoured the dark, gothic mystery tales from the 18th and 19th centuries as easily and as frequently as I devour peanut butter M&Ms now. But so many cozy mysteries focus on average people solving murders. I've grown kind of bored with that pairing. So, an art heist piqued my interest and got me listening to what the author wanted me to know. And when you throw in a world that acknowledges the existence of magic, then things get fun. It forces you to rethink how people interact with the world. How would the police track down a magical thief? Would they not have magicians on staff to do so? At the very least, would they not consult with a magician? And Archer handles magic in an intelligent way. While I would love to see Victorian spiritualism and seances, perhaps some of the esoteric orders from that time brought into life, would it not be fun to see these characters interact with Dr. Arthur Edward Waite or Aleister Crowley? Archer's handling of magic was smart, was intelligent, and it provided a way to limit both the use of magic and its ubiquity in a world at a time of rapid technological change. Magicians in Archer's world focus their talents on one type of material. A paper magician only affects paper. A gold magician only gold. Silver, paint, iron, so on and so forth. And iron magicians have limited use in manipulating steel because steel is an alloy. It is a smart way to handle the presence of magic while not diminishing the importance of the technological changes occurring at this time. And I will not say as much about the male romantic interest and Scotland Yard consultant Gabriel Glass. I, as you may have surmised from earlier statements, am a lesbian, and I don't care for men's dashing good looks, roguish charm, and all of that rot. I would say this. He was well written. He came across as a real person with agency, with personality, with non-toxic and believable flaws, and with numerous positive character traits. He did not read to me as a collection of sexified red flags that so many male love interests do. But where the character development shone through for me at its finest was in the side characters. One example is Sylvia's best friend, Daisy Carmichael, an artist who lives off of her inheritance and spends her free time seeking pleasure and happiness. A life to be envied, no? After all, I know my life would be so much better if I could spend it reading, talking about and thinking about stories and novel craft, indulging in passion and pleasure, and devouring chocolate and peanut butter on a regular basis. But, alas, that is not the life that we must lead, no? But Daisy encourages Sylvia to let her hair down, to live a little. She's fun, she's flirty, she's funny. Daisy is a joy to read, and in subsequent books in the series, we see her character being developed with as much love and attention to detail as Archer develops Sylvia and Gabe's characters throughout the series. I'm trying not to spread too much in terms of spoilers because even though this book is a year old, the series is ongoing, and I started my reviews now because I thought it was a trilogy, but having just seen that book 4 is available for pre-order, I thought I would probably review these books as I consume them, okay? Now, I love this book. You can probably tell from my glowing praise, but it's not all praise that I will say here. First, the book was slow to listen to, and as someone who speeds up her audiobooks to either 1.6x or 1.7x, the fact that it still felt plodding through most of the early chapters is saying something. It took a while for the story to get going, not because nothing happened, but because too much happened at once, and too much happened in a rapid succession. There were too many subplots introduced at one time, which gave the feel of bouncing around until I grew accustomed to the book's meandering style. Oh, and I would be remiss if I didn't discuss the love triangle that is set up, that feels about as forced as a love triangle comes. It is telegraphed with an explosive neon sign that cannot be missed. Gabe, or Lord Rycroft, if we are to use his title, is engaged to a woman appropriate for his station, but she has no personality and no chemistry with him. She's as dry as burnt toast without butter. Whereas Sylvia is vibrant, sharp, a woman with passion and dreams and goals, a woman Gabe can speak to as his equal. Whether we are talking about heteronormative or sapphic or queer in any fashion, this is my complaint about many love triangles. It is clear from the onset who the correct choice is, which to me removes any tension. Oh, this is the one who we are seeing as good at things, and this is the one who is boring. I wonder who the love interest will pick, or I wonder who the main character will pick. If you're going to have a triangle, there needs to be two good choices, so we don't know. However, overall, I loved The Librarian of Crooked Lane, and I've recommended it to a handful of people. It's an easy to read, or overall it is an easy listen. Marion Hussey does a wonderful job giving voice to the characters, adding emotion, and speeding up her tone, slowing it down when necessary to give tension to a scene. But for a book as easy it is to consume, It has a surprising amount of depth that really, really is why I recommend it. There is a lot going on in the Librarian of Crooked Lane. And as I have continued reading the series, there is a lot going on, and it is delicious and it is compelling. Thus, I give this book a rating of 4 out of 5 imps. So, if you're looking for a quick and easy read with a surprising richness of depth and world building, interesting characters, and an engaging art heist mystery, I cannot recommend The Librarian of Crooked Lane enough. Archer's evocative storytelling breathes life into the turn-of-the-century setting, painting a vivid backdrop for the character's enchanting journey, and using a conciseness of word choice that is masterful. As the stakes heighten and the secrets unfurl, readers are taken on a thrilling ride filled with unexpected twists and revelations. This is a book that is written in a language, a voice, and a style that tweens, teens, and adults can all read and enjoy. I would say the book has a soft PG-13 rating. So, parents, if you would like to read a book with your teenagers or with your tweens, this is something you both could enjoy. As I'm sure you have surmised, I will be continuing the series and reading Archer's other works. Thank you for joining me, dear watcher. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Comment below on any books you would like for me to read and review. Independent authors, feel free to get in touch with me if you would like me to review your book on my channel. Next week, my Spooktober special begins, and I will be reviewing I Found Puppets Living in My Apartment Walls by Ben Farthing. Have a good week, and I will see you soon.